Good afternoon, Shop Handmade. It's that time of the week again, and here with me today I have Wiz from Miss Wizz Jewellery. So we're going to hear and see about some of her makes, and also that rather splendid looking workspace behind her. Don't forget, if you're watching us live, do drop us a comment and let us know you're here. You will probably need to tell StreamYard up in, and I can never remember which corner it is, to let us know you're here. Hi Amy, thanks for joining us. Can you do the sharing across to the groups for me, please? Thank you. But Amy is one of our admins, so while she's listening, she'll be tapping and share us into the other groups as well. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. So my name's Wiz and I run Miss Wizz Jewellery. I've been in business for about 3 years now. Actually, no, it's not quite that long. It's about 2.5. So I started making silver clay jewellery back in 2017. Just went with mum on a one-day course just to out what it was and just spend some time with mum, really, just as a one-day thing. And yeah, I just fell in love with the material, with the way it works, with the things you can create with it. And so I just ran with it completely. That week I bought myself a packet of silver clay and started playing at home, and it just kind of
grew from there then.
Totally. And I love it, and I still love it, and every day I learn something new, and it speaks to me, you know, as much as I speak to it, if that makes sense. Just working with the material is so magical.
Yes. So and you have a day job as well, don't you? You can't totally devote all your time to your craft, unfortunately.
No, not quite. Unfortunately, the main of what I teach, and through COVID, obviously I wasn't allowed to teach, and there were some other things going on as well. So teaching came to a complete halt. I had any money to spend on bespoke jewellery, so we nearly collapsed. Yeah. I took this little day job just in the mornings in an office, just to keep myself ticking by, so I get afternoons at home out here creating, playing, writing new workshops. I just, you know, so it's a really good balance that I've got that steady income in the morning, my creative craziness in the afternoons.
Absolutely. I'm in a similar situation. I've got a day job that it's not my favourite, but it keeps that regular income coming in, I think.
Yeah.
So are you with family? Have you got pets? Anything like that?
I'm complicated. So I live in my mum's house, but my mum doesn't live here.
Yeah.
So my mum moved down to Devon earlier in the year, and so I now have the house, which is just out. And when she left, she said, "Why garden shed and make it your own?" So when I took on the shed back in December last year, this place was like, there was nothing in here. It was dark, it was damp, it was nasty. And so January, first half of February, I cleared it out, I insulated it, I put a floor down, I put a ceiling up. I've done everything in here, and obviously because of COVID I couldn't have workmen in, so basically I've done all of this pretty much myself, with the insulation, the boarding the walls, the putting the floor down. The only thing I really had help with was I had a proper electrician come and wire it up. And I did have a mate come and help me put the ceiling up, just because I physically couldn't hold at the same time. So I basically made this space myself.
Because it actually looks quite a big space.
Yeah, so we are 10 foot wide and 14 foot long.
Wow, that is very nice to have that dedicated space.
It's lovely.
So I guess you can just sort of like shut the door on it, and whilst crafters never really stop crafting, it does kind of keep your business and craft stuff a bit separate?
It does to an extent. It's nice to be able to be in here and shut the door and the rest of the world can't get me. And equally, but to be honest, when I'm not in here and I go back into the house, the business follows me, because I'm always on Instagram and Facebook and the email. I'm always talking to people, encouraging people, sharing stuff, looking for new ideas, supporting other crafters and people like that. So no, it never stops. And even when I'm at work doing my day job, on my breaks, I'm still, checking the online stuff and just making sure that everything's running smoothly, and it just never stops. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
So tell us 3 random things about yourself.
Goodness me, where do I start? Because I've had a fairly eclectic life and I have some amazingly random stuff gone on, so I'm not really sure where to start.
Don't stop at 3.
Okay. So I own 2 steam engines, which is crazy. One of them I inherited from my father and one of them is my own. And when shows are on, I take them to shows. So I go around steam rallies and I take them to shows, rally them. We take them up the pub on a Saturday just for a pint and whatnot. So that's one of my main hobbies, which I absolutely love and adore. And it is a whole different skill set and keeps me out of trouble and gets me into trouble, which is brilliant. So that's really cool. I guess another random one is I spent 6 years living with the fun fair. Very happy. I did manage to get my degree, and then I ran off to Sussex and lived with a travelling fair for 6 years. Travelling with them, helping them out in the winter, fixing and painting stuff, in the summer running a ride or running a side stall, which was just an absolutely awesome way of life and a real privilege. They're a very insular way of life. They're very much family, and other fairground family. So to be allowed in and to be allowed to see what they do and how they do it from the inside was an absolute privilege. I'm still, even though I don't travel with them anymore, I'm still the best of friends with them all. And about 2 or 3 times I'll go out with them and, build up all the rides, open with them, pull down the rides again, and then go on my merry way just because it's just life that never leaves you. It really doesn't. So that was a real experience. Absolutely. Another random thing, this is well known and well documented, but in 2016 I had brain surgery for a condition called trigeminal neuralgia, which is ongoing, but I have a massive great scar down the side of my head, which is one of the things that led me to silver clay in a roundabout kind of way, because it took me near on a year to get over having brain surgery and what we went through that year. And then I was looking for something to do, and Mum and I wanted to spend time together, and I needed to craft, and that's why I went and did that silver clay day, just for fun. And so in a round way, my brain surgery led me to silver clay, and now I do whatever I can to support people going through a hard time and a rough time to find craft and to find something that speaks to them, to get them out of a depression around at the moment. And depression has been a part of my life in a big way, and silver clay crafting in so many ways has got me through all those orphans and brought me into where I am today.
Wow, so there's some story, and I think it is being more and more recognised that actually crafters, because we can just lose ourselves and it can be almost meditative, just how good it is for us, and how it sort of you does make you sort of live in that moment with whatever you're making.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there was a time when I was still with the fairground and I was painting a lot. I'm a trained sign writer as well, and I was doing a lot of painting. I was seriously ill before I had brain surgery. I was very seriously ill, and there was weeks when I wouldn't leave the sofa. And eventually, one of the people on the fair, who was very good to me, dragged me out of the house workshop, put a paintbrush in my hand and said, "I don't care what you paint, just paint something." And it just lifted me, and it got me out of that zone that I got myself into, and then I got myself lost in painting, and that kick-started my life again. And now, post brain surgery, getting better, getting out of depression, if I'm in a bad way, in a bad state, if I'm in serious pain, I come out here, even if I don't do anything, just to come out here, sit here, be in this crafting zone, calms me and brings me back to myself. And I usually end up making something.
Well, why not?
Exactly.
Why not? So what, I mean, you say you love there's obviously lots you love about your business, the flexibility, how it brings you out of yourself. Is there any one thing that you can say is the thing that you enjoy most about it?
There's two things I enjoy most about it. One is the material itself. When it's in the wet stage, silver clay has 3 stages of working, but when it's in its first stage, in the wet stage, the way it feels, the way I can manipulate it, it manipulates me. The amount of things we can do with it to shape it and create stuff, that I love that feeling. That for me is peace and freedom and exploration and exhilaration all at once.
Yeah.
And I love that. And the other thing I really, really love about my business as a whole is when I'm teaching and a student comes to me and says, oh, I like the idea of it, but I'm not crafty, so I'm not really expecting I'm going to make very much today. And then by the end of the day, they've made themselves pure silver jewellery that they are really proud of.
Yeah,
that feeling of satisfaction and being able to share in my students' achievement, that to me is the magic moment. And I just love that. And it's the reason I teach so much is because I just want to share the feelings I get working with the material. I want to share it with the world. And I just love the feeling that they have achieved something. And quite often they come back for more.
And that you've actually managed to share your passion for it with them as well. And they've gone away with a bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, and that rapport you get, particularly with a one-on-one student, and they push me. I get a student, particularly the one-on-ones, who have never heard of silver clay before, never played with silver clay before, and they come up with the most random questions, and they say, "Oh, can you do this with it?" And I'm like, "I've never tried. I never thought of that." And then they push me to go and do something, and I love that. That's brilliant, and that's another reason for teaching. But yeah, I love that sort of that bounce you get off a student, to give them, to feed them a nugget of an idea and see where they go with it. I just had one the other day, a lovely lady called Dilla. She comes down to me every other Tuesday now. And I start my lessons by saying, this is a technique. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Now go play. And she spends the next 2 hours playing with an idea, and the things she comes up with are amazing. Things that I wouldn't have done, not my style, but watching her from a nugget of an idea is just beautiful. Yes,
and actually silver clay is quite environmentally friendly to work with it as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's all recycled and reclaimed. A lot of it is reclaimed out of things like mobile phones and medical equipment, because silver is a ridiculously good conductor. And it's very sterile as well. So they use it in, you get tiny fragments of it in a mobile phone because they need an electrical conductor, but it's got to be small. And so they reclaim that out of dead mobile phones, recycle the rest of the phone, and then the silver gets turned into silver clay. And the whole thing can be recycled as we go along. If you make a piece that you don't like or isn't quite what you want it to be, when it's at this stage, if you really don't like it, you can crush it back down to a powder, add water, and you've got clay again, and then we go again. So there is never any wastage. And even when I'm sanding the edge of a piece on a mat so that I'm catching my dust, and I'll turn my dust back into silver clay again.
Wow, that is amazing.
Never any wasted. Never waste anything.
Right, so I think it's time to have a look at some of your lovely projects. What have you got to show us?
I've got all sorts of things to show you. I've got loads of stuff out because I didn't know where I was going to start.
Have you got maybe an early project then to show us?
I have actually got the very first pair of earrings I made on a one-day course with my mother. So these are very first pair of earrings. There we are. I'm really, really into steampunk. I mean, obviously with the steam engines and stuff, I love engineering.
Yeah.
So I have a little mold that makes the gears, and so that was a pair of earrings I made. Unfortunately, one of the stones it's a problem, but it happens. But hey, they're just even more quirky than they were.
Absolutely.
But they are stud backs, but they wobble as well. And this is one of my favourite things to do. Is so that it's on a stud, as you can see there, but it dangles as well. So where's the camera? There's the camera. There you go. It's got a bit of movement, and I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love studs that dangle. That's one of the things. So yeah, steampunk. I've got more gears. I love my gears. That was quite an early piece as well, actually. Yeah, just more gears. The other thing I absolutely love doing is one of my most popular workshops is called Capturing Nature. We actually take a leaf. We start the day by walking around the garden and go and find leaves, and then we press them into the wet silver clay. And as I say, this is one of my favourite workshops. This is definitely one of my most popular workshops.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a very simple piece. It's really, really simple. A student could do that on day one. Really simple to do. I actually have something new to show you that nobody else has seen yet.
This is what we like
for you. So this is another leaf one, but this is a bit of a different style. So this is a pendant. There's the camera. There we go.
Wow, that is.
Okay.
That's
it. It just captures the leaf veins like really, really beautifully, and I just love the way that shines.
And it just catches. It's just catching the light as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I like the shape of leaves, and leaves can be all sorts of different shapes and sizes, but I think by taking them out of context and putting them into just a circle shape, I think it really, like an outline can detract from the veins themselves, and I love the veins of leaves. So by putting them into a boring shape, it makes the veins of the leaves stand out and really, really shine. And that's so yeah, I literally put that one together. It came out the kiln a couple of days ago.
Wow.
I put it together just for you guys to see. It's not up on my shop yet or anything. I haven't even weighed it, so I can't give you a price for it either.
Yes, for anybody that's watching, or if you're watching us on replay, what Wizz is going to do is when this is finished, she will actually pop back in and put all her links in the comments, so you'll be able to go and have a look and see what she does, and find out about her workshops, etc. So that'll be coming once we've finished here. So which of your projects do you think you're most proud of?
I knew you were going to ask that. Went through the box because there's quite a big box, and I'm like, which one am I going to answer with? Because there are so many. I came up with two, if that's okay.
Of course.
So this one is completely out of context. This was a piece I made for a competition. It's obviously a Christmas wreath, but there were some amazing technical challenges in this. So inside this web work, well, the web work is quite difficult to start with, but inside there's a quality street wrapper, which is green, to kind of make it a bit more leafy. We've got some gemstones set here. Making the holly leaves was really difficult because they're so blooming tiny. But one of the really, really cool things about it, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you because my fingers are too big, is the star actually spins. That's not going to do it. Go on. Yeah, it is spinning. It is spinning. Look at it. See if I can get it to do it. Go on, go round. Go. Where's the camera? Go round. Go round. Honestly, the star spins. Trust me.
Wow. Wow.
And then that top star is gold as well. So we had a whole nother set of techniques to that. So I was really, really proud of it. I didn't mind too much because I learned so much from doing it, and I love it. And it's the biggest brooch ever. So love that. The other one I'm really proud of is another competition. This is a competition winner, thankfully. So this is my peacock bottle.
Oh, wow.
It's an actual bottle. It is actually hollow. So you've got the peacock down the side here. Oh, go on, camera. He's got 7 set into his tail. We've also got resin colouring in the tail because I didn't have enough sapphires. Around the side, sorry, I'm drifting everywhere. Around the side, we've got a bark-like texture.
Yeah.
All the way around. The peacock himself is hollow to try and save on weight. There is an absolutely vast sapphire in the top.
Oh, wow.
And the really cool thing about it, and the really difficult thing about it, is the top is a screw lid.
Wow.
So that was really, really hard, really difficult. That took me 3 attempts to get the screw correct, but he is actually screw and he's hollow inside. And that is a competition winner. So that's going to be in the calendar of exceptional work for the metal clay community.
I definitely think it deserves to be a winner. That is beautiful, and it's literally hours and hours of work in there.
It was 4 days. 4 days.
Yes.
Pretty much. There was one Saturday I'd done the body of the bottle on the Friday afternoon, and I got the most of the square of the bottle done right. And then the next day I had to do the predominant of the peacock himself. I came out here about 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't leave here till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, having not eaten, drunk, or gone to the loo at all during the day. I had about an hour's break, and then I was back out here by about 3:45, and I stayed out here till about 9 o'clock at night. And that's when the peacock was done. And then it took a further, pretty much another day to actually sort of get the thing finished. And then after firing, there was another day of polishing, tidying, and sorting him out. So he really is 4 days' work.
Wow.
But yeah, immensely proud. You know, hand carved feathers. So 7 sapphires set down his tail. 3 grams of silver.
So you're not going to ever sell that one then? He's yours.
He's definitely mine. Definitely mine. Yeah, he's become a bit of a symbol of the business as well now. Everyone, when he says, you know, oh, what's your best piece? I'm like, yeah, it's got to be that one.
Got to be that one, yes. So you have a very nice workspace there. I don't know if you can show us round at all. We often get workspace envy when we look at other people's.
No, I reckon this is why you do these interviews. You know, it's partly to talk to nice people and partly because you basically have studio envy.
Yes, yes. Or it's like, oh, maybe I could get one of those.
Okay, let me unplug up and I'll give you a walk around as best I can. Bear with me. I did tidy up, believe it or not. This is a working space. So,
absolutely.
Let's start over here. So this, there's all the work that's going on at the minute. There's my photo box for doing photography work. So everything gets photographed. There's my amazing advent calendar. This was a silver clay advent calendar. So it was full of silver clay tools and funky things, but now it's just like a really cool storage space. So if I lift you up, there's my desk. So this is all along my desk. So all my tools are all here in their little pots. Believe it or not, they are very well organised. I know exactly where they all are. So that's where I sit and work. And then we'll move down here a bit. This is where all the chemicals are kept. So that's like pickles and patinas and things. Yep. This is my best friend in the whole world. This is Bertha. She's my kiln, so that's where everything gets fired. I take her to workshops and stuff as well. That's where everything gets done. Oh, sneak peek, there's a little pot there of stuff about to go off to the hallmarking office. So come around the corner and this is what we refer to as the hot desk. So this is where all the soldering is done. There's my little soldering station there for doing soldering. And if I am doing a little bit of silversmithing, I do it just there. So yeah, we refer to that as the hot desk, which is quite funny. And then up on the wall, there are my diplomas.
Wow.
So I've got 2 diplomas and the third one on the end there is another certification. It's not a teaching certification, but it is it's another really, really cool qualification that I've got. So I've got 3 qualifications. And then, although it doesn't look like it at the minute, this is my teaching desk. So this comes out into the middle of the room and then I put my tents up for all my students to go into, and then they can sit at the desk and work. And then round in the corner, there's my books with all my silver clay books and bits and pieces. There's usually busts up there with things on display and whatnot. That's where the cricket lives. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going 360. There's the door. There's Mum's house. And we come back round to my desk.
Well, that is an amazing space, and you've got everything so well organised as well.
Yeah, I like organising. I like being organised. I'm one of those, I need to know where everything is so I can just grab it, because you have to work silver play quite quickly, and in its wet stage. So I need to know exactly where the tools are so I can just grab, and I can just work with it as quickly and as fast as I can. And I encourage my students to keep tidy, but that doesn't work.
So, if money were no object, what would be on the top of your crafty wish list?
I knew this question coming as well, and I can't answer it. I really can't. It's, I don't know. I really can't think of anything I desperately need or desperately want. I'm always on the lookout for more tools. But they're also little bits and pieces. There isn't anything I desperately need. You know, I've got everything. I'm all set up. The last really cool piece of kit I bought was the Cricut for cutting. So I can now cut out my own stencils. So I'm not using commercially available stencils. I'm using my own stencils. And that just gives me that another degree of individuality and uniqueness to my work. So I'm not working the same as other silver clay artists are. I've got my own unique style, my own unique shapes. So that was a big buy, but that was an amazing investment. And I use it for all sorts of stuff as well. Like I'm now cutting my own business cards, and every order I send out comes with a cup of tea. And there's a little folder that the tea comes in, and that's the shape of a teapot. And so that sounds ridiculous trying to talk about it, but yeah, every order comes with a cup of tea.
That sounds lovely.
I cut out those on the Cricut, and it is an amazing tool. I mean, even stuff that's going off, I'll grab one, stuff that's going off for hallmarking has to have a tag on it. So, this one's heading off for hallmarking next week, so it's got my tag. So if that gets lost from the group, they know who it is, and then on the other side of the tag I write what it is. And I just cut those out on the Cricut, and they take seconds, but to do it neatly by hand would have been a pain. So yeah, it was a massive investment and has really changed things I wasn't expecting it to change for my style of work, which is really cool.
Yes, so it has, like you said, really good investment, and they can do so many different things, can't they?
I know. I did you can buy the spiral flowers, and then you cut them out and you roll them up and you make little roses. I spent ages making those when I first got it. I was like, this is so cool. And then I started getting serious and started making proper things for the business which need to be made.
Yes. So I know. So some of your stuff. I think it was last week actually. We were talking. I was talking to Wendy about stuff having to go off to the assay office when it's above a certain weight. So you do have to send bits and pieces off then.
I send most stuff off anyway. You don't have to hallmark it if it's under 7.78 grams, but you can if you want to. Now, for the peace of mind of my clients, I hallmark pretty much everything because, they need to know that it is actually fine silver or sterling silver. And it's really important that they have that information. So I do try and hallmark as much as I possibly can. Even if it weighs a gram or half a gram, I'll still send it off for assay just because it needs doing. It's so important. And I don't think there's enough pressure on how important it is to be done. But yeah, it's something I really value, and I think my clients do.
Yes, and I guess it sort of makes you just that step above some of the others as well, because you've gone to the trouble to do that extra step and get that done.
Yeah, it does add a degree of credibility. I did trade for over a year before I got my hallmark, and I just kept myself under that 7.78 grams. And it's absolutely fine. But I think when you start taking yourself seriously and you'll start taking your clients seriously, it's really important for them to know what they're buying and the quality of what they're buying. Because particularly with mixed metals coming in from China and Tibet and Malaysia at the moment, you're never really picture of the quality of the metal you're getting. So it's really, really important.
Mm-hmm. So do you do most of your sales online, social media, websites? Do you do craft fairs, anything like that?
I do a couple of craft fairs. I do Caution Creative in just over a week's time. No, 2 weeks' time. Just over a week's time. It is just over a week's time. So I'm doing that one for the first time next weekend, which is going to be lovely. I did Atworth a couple of weeks ago. That was a really, really good one. I did Trowbridge Weavers Market a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah.
That was busy. So it is good to sell stock stuff, and it's nice to get that rapport. I find a lot of my students come to me having met me once already. So even if I go to a market and I don't sell anything for the day, it's not a massive deal, because I'll have spoken to people and then they come back to me as a student, and that's probably more important to me. Most of my commissions come directly through the internet, either through the website or the Facebook, and a lot of it is word of mouth, which is lovely. And that's where my commissions come from, and I love that with a commission client and building up that relationship with them to make their jewelry dreams come true.
Absolutely. And word of mouth is just the best recommendation you could have, really.
Isn't it just? It really is vital for a little business like mine. That and Facebook sharing, to share or like something on Facebook is free, and it really does mean the world to a little business like mine. So yeah, keep doing that, people.
Absolutely. I mean, I run a local Mums in Business networking group here in Swindon, and it's actually sort of, they're saying to people, you don't have to buy if you go and make a comment or you share or you like, but don't just dump your Facebook link and run. Actually have a conversation with people. Yeah,
absolutely. And it really does make a big difference. I'm a member of several sort of Facebook groups for young businesses and small businesses, and we all help each other out. And it's not really a case of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but it's definitely a leaning on each other, supporting each other, helping each other. And for anyone, whether you're in business or not, a like, a comment and a share is still free, and it still means that each becomes bigger, and the more you get your name out there, the better. And there's no obligation to buy anything or to go further with anything. It's just a like, but it does mean the world.
And it's that whole community feeling as well, especially among crafters.
Yeah, there's several names within like a little group that it's a national group. It's called Hike Those Likes Marketplace. But I seem to find that there are several people that repeatedly comment on mine, and I repeatedly comment on theirs, and I almost feel like I get to know these people, but all I know is their business name, what they do, and roughly where they are. But if you don't hear from them for a little while, you start to think, are you okay? And I have messaged a couple of them and said, you haven't posted in a while, are you all right? Even though I don't know these people, but it's a name you start to recognize, and then you look out for each other.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, sort of, one of our ladies, one of our admins, says it's social media. It is about being social.
Definitely.
That's the bit that a lot of people, I think, miss out on. So when you're not going to STEAM fairs or crafting, what else do you get up to?
I kayak. I have a kayak, and I head out on the river as I can, which is about the only time I leave the business behind. I take the mobile phone for safety, but I turn the internet off.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few times when I will completely switch off from the business. Just be peace, be quiet, just be in nature. I love the feeling of the water underneath me, and I love that floating sensation. And you see, once you get out of town, I'm here in Melksham, so I head out on the Avon, I head up towards Laycock. And about half a mile out, the town stops, and then you're just in countryside, and you'll have cows looking over the hedge at you. You'll see herons, and I saw a red kite last time I was out. You see the kingfisher, and he'll just like bob down the river, trying to get, and I'm thinking, go sideways. If you're trying to get away from me, don't go straight, go sideways. Anyway, and I just love that. And you see the odd fish, and I just love that peace, and it's therapy, and it works my shoulders, which is good because I end up very hunched up when I'm working. So
yes,
I kayak a lot.
So if anybody watching us has got any questions, now's the time to pop them in the comments. Or if you want to come on live and ask your question, then do pop in the comments and I can share the link. So whilst we're waiting for the Facebook lag, let's go on to our quick fire questions, as I call them. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Netflix or audiobooks?
Netflix.
Neutrals or brights?
Neutrals.
Make for yourself or someone else?
Always for someone else. It's very rare I keep a piece for myself. If I am keeping a piece for myself, it's not for myself, it's for other reasons. Like the peacock bottle was just such an extreme amount of silver and effort that went into that, and because it's an award winner, it won't go. And the same with the wreath, that won't go because it was a competition piece and it's a good demonstration piece. But you know, no, I rarely keep a piece for myself. I have probably about half a dozen pieces I've made for myself that I wear over and over again. These gear earrings, everyone knows me and my gear earrings. Yeah, definitely always make for somebody else, definitely, yeah.
And summer or winter?
Summer. Thank goodness for the sunshine today.
Absolutely. It's the light and the warm and just, yes, definitely.
Happiness. And yeah, I don't cold. I really don't like cold. I feel the cold very, very badly with my health. So yeah, definitely summer.
Yeah. So have you got any other bits to show us before we sign off?
Yeah, so what else have I got to show you? I've got another piece that I'm immensely proud of to show you. So this piece is called Seahorse Surprise. Anyone who follows my Facebook page will recognize this piece very, very much. This was actually featured on an American website earlier in the year, and I was invited to do an online workshop on how to create it. So wow, this is the second one, because they saw the first one, fell in love with it, and I had to record an hour workshop of me making it, which I spent a whole day in here with cameras and microphones and all sorts, making this wonderful piece. So this is the second one, and this is the piece I actually made for the TV program, which was awesome and such an honor, because I used to watch that program in America, and I used to watch artists and I think, oh wow, they're amazing. And then earlier in the year I was one of them, and that's really, really humbling.
Because what's the stone in that one?
That's a peridot. That's a peridot. That's a 4mm peridot. It's a cubic zirconia, which people quite often turn their nose up and say, oh, it's only a cubic zirconia. Actually, there's a lot of good things going for cubic zirconias. They are lab created gemstones. Yeah. So it has got the molecular structure of a peridot. So to all intents and purposes, it's a peridot. Yeah. But being created in a lab, I like it for two reasons. One reason is that mining practices across the world are absolutely disgusting. Absolutely. I want to support that industry, particularly in Chile and the Congo, for the sapphires. So the sapphires in peacock bottle, they're all cubic zirconia sapphires. I just don't want to have anything to do with that industry, so I go lab created. And the other thing is that I fire to 850 degrees C, and so I need to be able to trust my gemstones. As you saw in these ones, we do get the odd one change colour. Yeah. But the lab created ones are less likely to. They're not guaranteed, but because they're lab created, we know what's in them, so they're less likely to change colour and do silly things in the kiln. So that's why I use cubic. So the other ones I wanted to show you, which are really, really funky and really, really fun, and this is my next workshop coming up, is Colourpop earrings. So the lighting in here isn't great, but these are fluorescent purple and fluorescent blue. And it's all about, so we're going to learn two things on this workshop. The first thing we're going to learn is how to embed the wire into, see how it comes out of the silver clay itself. It's not an instrument, it's buried in the silver clay. So that's the first thing we're going to learn. And then later on, after they've come out the kiln, we're going to learn lots and lots of different ways to do those amazing colours. So we can use alcohol inks, we can use mica, and we can use resin. You don't have to do a mandala, and you don't have to do anything as like crazy as these. But yeah, it's going to be really, really good fun. I love these long lengths are really popular at the moment.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show you those because I love those and they're just so fun. And I love mandalas are really big at the moment. So
Yes, they are, and they're just so soothing, aren't they?
So that one's done in reds and yellows. It's actually the same text done in reds and yellows, and that's got a fire CZ in it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the colours we can get with it because it's just really cool.
It is, because we just think, oh, silver, and then seeing those, you're like, wow, have you enameled on those, or have you done something else? And you said there's lots of different things you can do.
Yeah, and I'm just playing with enamels at the minute, but I mean, there's other things you can do, like natural patinas. So these ones are that's a liver of sulfur patina. So we make it go black and then polish off the high spots to make the texture really come out and really shine. So they are just black and silver, but they're really, really striking. So that's another way we can colour silver clay, or silver.
So I don't think we've got any questions. So as I've said to people, Wizz will put her links down in the comments. Don't forget, if you're watching on replay, hashtag sorry I missed you. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Sharon.
Next week I have got Liz that does the Mind Monkeys on Tuesday, and then Ema on Thursday, who does Stampin' Up and makes some incredible cards and folded things. So that's what's up for us for next week. But thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me, and I will say bye for now. Bye.